Oh, wait a minute. Oh, boy. I just stopped the recording. I canceled the recording.
Recording in progress.
Now we're all set.
And I believe we have minutes to approve.
Do you want me to put them up? Because I didn't get them out to the members. So at least probably we should.
Yeah, if you wanna throw them up there.
Yeah. See what I can do here.
Absolutely.
We were just leaving.
Oh, yeah?
No.
Not that good.
Yeah.
Okay, these are the minutes for June 15th. So let me get some of this stuff out of the way. If you recall, that was a pretty long meeting.
Yes.
I couldn't take the crick in my neck sitting over there.
Yep, yeah.
So you want me to go back or miss,
Nope,
if you
I
missed anything?
scanned it and it
Yeah.
looked. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the June 15th meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second that.
Moved and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
All right, I'll, I can go back if I went too fast.
No, that was
Nope.
fine.
That's good. I'll entertain a motion to approve the July 20th meeting minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Second that.
Moved and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. All right. We have no new public hearings and no continued public hearings. So that moves that part quick. Administrative, John, do we have presentation for the open space?
Yes, we do.
Do we want
Elijah is here
to? Okay,
to go over, he's from OCPC.
right, yep. Okay, I wasn't sure which, if we were gonna. You wanna move to you don't strain?
So Elijah, you're on. Do you need to share,
Oh, yes.
any documents or anything?
Yes, can I share the screen, please?
Yeah, I'll,
Good evening, members of the Conservation Commission. My name is Elijah Romulus. I am the Senior Comprehensive Planner with Old Colony Planning Council. Part of my job is doing open space plans. I do some work with environmental work and land use management. And so, let's see. So I'll have a presentation here in relation to West Bridgewater's open space plan that I would like to share with you this evening. So let's pull that up real quick. Can you see it?
yes.
Okay. All right, so again, this is a presentation on the open space and recreation plan for the town of West Bridgewater. We are helping West Bridgewater in doing this open space plan. Myself, along with Lori Muncie, my director, will be working on the project. Old Colony Planning Council serves about 17 communities through natural resource and environmental planning, transportation planning, comprehensive land use planning, economic development, GIS systems, and area agency operation. And I like to think that, open space planning kind of incorporates a little aspect of all of these different planning categories. And just to kind of go over quickly, kind of what is an open space and recreation plan. It's a roadmap for prioritizing open space and recreation projects and expenditures. It's a prerequisite for the Massachusetts Division of Conservation Service grants. It's a public process, and some of the components to a plan is a summary, kind of talking about the community, then inventory of parcels in the town. What are the needs of the community? What are the goals and objectives? Creating an action plan for those goals and objectives. Looking for public comments, as well as looking at ADA inventory for accessibility. So what is open space? That includes conservation land, forested land, athletic fields, agricultural land, playgrounds, pocket parks, greenways or green buffers along roadways, and undeveloped land conservation. So pretty much, any parcel, any piece of land that's in the town that falls in this category can be considered open space. And so just to give you an idea of what it looks like in West Bridgewater, your town was able to produce this from Debbie Taylor. She, along with John, have been working with me, John being the point person, really helping me in this process. So this is just a map of West Bridgewater and the different types of open spaces. As you can see, like the big red pieces are the state forest, and then we have different municipal lands, and some Chapter 61, some town-owned, state-owned, and whatnot. So this is just one example of different types of maps that we include in this project. And so today I just wanted to come before you mentioning about this process. We have created some goals and objectives. There's been a working group that John has been, kind of leading on the West Bridgewater end, and I've been working with the town to come up with different types of goals, and this is just like the first page. I won't go through everything. Just if you'd like a copy, John can definitely send that over to you. But some goals are like identifying and prioritizing additional parcels with significant open space. Using zoning tools to protect open spaces, and then from those specific goals, then you have a list of objectives to then ascertain how you can meet these goals. And so this is part of the the first half of the project in relation to public participation. And I'll kind of come back to that after I go through the last couple slides. It's not a very long presentation, but just wanted to show you a little bit of what we're doing and advertise for what's coming ahead. And so we have a public survey that I'm really, trying to push and share with the town. I would really love, for yourself as members to participate as well. It should take you just about 5 minutes, but it asks some questions as it relates to open space, like where have you visited in town that's open space, what would you like to see in the future, what's been working, what's not working, and that will help build towards the overall draft. And so, again, you can always ask John, he can send it, but this is the link over here. If you have a smartphone, you can take a picture of the QR code to my right, potentially left. So really pubbing this public survey, and to coincide with the survey, we have the first of 2 public listening sessions. The first one will be held on Thursday, August 12th, which is actually next Thursday. It's hosted by the Open Space and Recreation Committee, but again, John being the conservation agent and yourselves being the commission, it would be nice. You can either share this with your constituents, or just if you wanted to attend as well. I know that it's already, everyone has busy lives, and we're kind of dedicating evenings already, so I get it if it's hard to make other engagements, but wanted to share this as well. Basically, the public listening session will look at the full list of goals and objectives that I had shown earlier, that document that's blue and green. Those goals and objectives I'll go through at length with the committee and then those that are attending. And then that'll lead us to a second listening session that we will set a date in September for. And basically the goals and objectives that we come to agreement over the next month, we'll then look at action steps to actually achieve those goals. And those action steps will be what we review in September. So that's really it. I didn't want to take too much of your time. I just wanted to make the introduction, really mention the survey that that's live right now, and that you're definitely encouraged to take and share with your friends, as well as this listening session that's coming up next Thursday. So hopefully that was a good kind of brief overview, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
I've already taken the survey.
How's
Oh,
that?
great. Awesome.
Elijah, I just wanted to mention that the day that you sent that poster and the link to the survey, it went up on West Bridgewater Hub Facebook page, and also on the Open Space Committee webpage. And I posted it as West Bridgewater, who is the avatar for me, actually. And so anybody that follows me or the West Bridgewater Hub, which gets a lot of following, good and bad, and also the Open Space Committee, I think we're getting it out there, but let's hope everybody shares it as much as they can with friends to have them take the survey.
Definitely. And I've been checking, and we do have a pretty good stream of people that are taking it so far. So
Good.
I appreciate the. Yeah.
Good.
Does Old Colony provide any funding, or do you just assist in finding funding?
So yeah, it will be the latter. We assist in finding funding. We do provide some technical assistance grants as well. So I guess it's a mix. It depends on what the situation is, what the town needs. For the sake of this open space planning, what we're doing is through the technical assistance grant, we're then contracted to help you get this plan together, and then from this plan, you will then be eligible to get even more funding from the state and potentially federal if there's federal grants available as it relates to open space.
Most of that.
So really from us, you want us more or less to get the word out about the survey at this point?
Yeah, survey and the listening session that's next Thursday, and really just to let you guys know, as a conservation commission, I know that you're tasked with a lot of higher level projects as it relates to development, but again, for these type of projects, I just want to make sure that your commission is aware, and also to spread the word. So honestly, that's all I have. I didn't want to take up too much of your time. Just wanted to really make the quick introduction, let you guys know what's going on in West Bridgewater as it relates to the open space plan.
Thank you.
Thanks, Elijah.
Thank you very much, Elijah. No problem.
Thanks, that was a good presentation, Elijah.
Thank you. All right. Well, you guys have a good night.
All
You
right.
too. Thank you. At least this way it gets out on the YouTube when we replay it, so
Yep.
hopefully people that don't follow the hub can at
Yeah.
least get the information there.
Just a couple of things. The Open Space Committee put out requests for proposals from about 5 different engineering firms.
Is this me now, open space? Committee that I got?
No, you're on the Community Preservation Committee. Community
Yeah.
Preservation Committee, sorry. So you're able to give us
Funding.
money if we need it, both
Oh,
from
okay.
open space and conservation. So we'll butter you up at that
Whatever you
point.
want.
So only one of the 5 entities responded, and it was OCPC. And nobody else wanted to touch it. And OCPC, Lori Muncy, the director, said that she has one slot for community technical assistance, and it would be free. So they are doing this as part of their mandate to do regional planning and that kind of thing. And we happen to hit just right with requesting the assistance. So she suggests I get it in right away, and it was approved, and so we're getting their technical assistance free, where if they didn't have that slot open, we would have had to pay Old Colony Planning Council or some engineering firm to do it.
Their job will be to just assist them.
No, to actually help us write the open space plan update and get it in the format that the state can approve. Because once they approve it, then we're able to ask for grants.
Sure.
So it's really was quite fortunate that we timed it just
Ask and you shall receive.
right. All right.
Anything else?
No,
Because next we have 69 Sunset Ave.
yes, they're asking for a certificate of compliance. I have the plan up somewhere here.
Is that the second one you know, right?
It's the first one.
Okay.
So there's an existing house, and then there's brand new houses
Okay,
being.
there was a pool behind it, I think, or something, or-
Not yet, I don't think. Let me see if I can get out of this and back into.
What was requested for them to have something done in order for them to ask for the certificate of compliance?
I'm sorry?
What did they have, what was requested to have them done?
All right, so they were building the house in a brand new house and septic system, and they're done with that, but they haven't loamed and seeded it.
Okay.
So I'm recommending, as soon as I find it,
Yeah, because I was gonna say, that one I didn't think was quite finished. And while we're on this, basically directly opposite them on the cul-de-sac, I noticed that slope at one point, didn't look like there was much erosion control coming down into the street. I don't know whether.
so that one got,
And washed away.
that one was not part of the stormwater program. It was before.
Yep.
However, if they start violating, even though they weren't subject to it as part of the permitting process, then we can ask them to do
Yeah, I
things.
couldn't really see where there were any storm drains or anything, so I couldn't tell if they were plugged yet or not, but
Did you go over?
with all the rain, I haven't been there in the last 3 weeks, so I don't know after all the rain we've had in July, how much worse it's gotten. But
So there's a kind of, I think this has only really a double set of catch basins down in here, and everything drains to it. So I'll go out and take a look at that, and if it's something that needs to be addressed, I'll take care of it, so I'll make a note. Can't remember the number, but it's probably an even number on that side. So they're asking for the certificate. The septic has been as-built and approved. They've submitted this as-built. The wetland conservation signs are in along the 50-foot conservation easement that we have running along the back. The house next door here is still under construction, and it needs to be loamed and seeded, and the contractor felt at this point, although this has been one of the best years for doing lawns, felt that if it wasn't have proper care taken for it, it would just die off. So he's proposing to put it in the fall. And so we should put in some money for the surety on that, and I'm recommending $5,000.
Is that the septic way back behind?
Right back in here, yep.
Is it so far behind?
Probably where they could get some good perk tests, because the soils out there are lousy.
Yeah.
High water table,
And it's all grass all the way through, all the way back there?
not yet.
But I mean, that's what they plan on having?
Yes.
Stick of a yard?
Yep, down to the conservation easement.
Oh.
As you can see, they haven't gone that far, but invariably, people want to have a big backyard.
It's right on the 50.
What's the drop? I can't read the numbers from here, but is it a big drop?
So it's about 103 at the tree line, and
12 feet?
Is it?
115.
Yeah.
Yeah,
12 feet?
yeah, it drops down real good. Kind of terraces off here, and then it drops. Terraced here, and then drops.
Mm.
And hopefully new homeowners have a copy of that plan. They have a feeling more than likely will want to see a pool eventually, the way things keep going. And where the septic line is gonna depend a lot where and if they can put a pool in.
Yeah.
I'm picturing how they could do a pool on a slope.
50's right there though, right? Isn't the 50 right there?
The 50's down,
50 is right here.
right here.
Oh, it's
Oh,
down there.
Yeah,
Oh,
This is the 100-foot.
oh, okay.
so if they were, where they had that big, nice open space,
You would think
if
there'd
you did a
be
retaining
lot
wall on one side and
A lot of water running into that system, huh?
yeah.
They bring but then they bring in a lot of fill for.
But I'm sure they. Okay.
All right, anything else, John, other than that?
Nope.
Then I will entertain a motion to issue a certificate of compliance with a bond of $5,000.
Make that motion.
Second that.
Moving second, all in favor?
Aye.
So moved. And next we have some
Recognition.
Which I,
Didn't show up yet, did he?
Jared's not gonna make it
Okay.
because he left for basic training.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'd like to introduce Berta Grossman.
Hi.
Did
hello?
I got it right?
Yep.
Okay. And she and Jared were discovered a project. I'll let you explain it, but in general, the two of them, Jared and Berta, agreed to meet out on one of the trails and clean up the trails. And they discovered, they did it 2 different days, and one day they discovered the liner of a pool that was tossed in the woods, and they picked it up and took it to a transfer station and sweet-talked them, possibly, to accept this free so that they didn't have to pay, but they were actually apparently willing to pay for it, but did sweet-talk the
Oh, thank you.
transfer
That's-
station.
Sure
mo-
thing.
Moving a pool line is no small feat.
Was it in town here?
I was the Bridgewater transfer station that we went to.
But I mean, did you find a pool?
Oh, yeah, it was on the section, on the Bay Circuit Trail section. Yeah, kind of off the side there.
Now,
Do you live in town?
I live in East Bridgewater.
East, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got caught doing something nice.
Yep.
So are you doing the Bay Circuit Trail, or was it just a trail area you were looking to?
Oh, well, I go out there all the time. West Bridgewater has a lot of nice trails, so I'm out in West Bridgewater walking a lot. Jared is really into the whole Bridgewater Triangle thing, so that's why he's like super
Okay.
interested.
Oh,
Yeah, so he's actually from like north of, I forget what town, but he lives like kind of far.
Mhm.
So he posted in a group on Facebook that he wanted to try to get a group together to go out there to try to pick some stuff up. So
Nice.
thought it would be a good time. It was definitely fun, and yeah, we got that huge pool liner out, so that was great. It's nice to figure out. It was great to figure out where to put it too, and the people from the Bridgewater transfer station were really kind and courteous, and by letting us dump that there.
So West Bridgewater wouldn't?
It was like in their last like 5 minutes of the day, and like yeah.
so I guess you got the message.
Yeah.
Do each of our trails have a responsible group that
Not,
takes care of it?
not yet.
Didn't we
What-
in Beaverton Woods have, who the heck was it that was in there?
So the Open Space Committee usually does the work
Yeah,
on these open space areas and trails. And the committee is made up of primarily women who, they're great in managing and organizing and so forth, but
Yeah.
the physical labor's
yeah,
not something that,
right.
that they like to do. So a lot of it falls on Jack Ames, who is a member of the committee and does all of the hard work. Matter of fact, he prefers to be out there doing the work
Yeah.
than sitting in a meeting.
Yeah,
So if you see the grass being cut at Trukey's Landing,
yeah. That's
he
good.
doesn't do all of it, but he trims around the logs that are prohibiting or tries to prohibit people from driving in.
I thought it was Howard was doing it.
Howard had done some, but Howard's health is not the greatest at the moment, so Jack does it, and then the town seems to say, oh yeah, we gotta go cut, and they do the big part. He does a lot of trimming on the trails. He'll take an old mower and go down through.
Sure.
But that's only one person, and when we have people like Berta and others who go out, it's really a fantastic service to the town. And so what I was, not only did I want her to be recognized by you as the commission, but perhaps at the next meeting, we can have a certificate made up and have it signed by the commission and send it to both Berta and Jared.
That would be nice.
Yes, I would endorse that. That's
Okay,
great.
so it'll be on the agenda for the next meeting.
Thank you for coming over, and I'm glad you're enjoying some of the trails. I mean, it's not a lot of them, but we're getting there.
So to get back to the basic responsibilities of some of the trails, if we had more people like Berta who were volunteering, then we could have a group of, let's call them trail rangers or trail volunteers who will maintain certain sections as they have time to do it. Everybody has busy lives, but if they had time to be out, and if one can't do it, maybe the other part of the team can, that kind of thing. But we're still not there yet with that organized group yet.
But I will say, with the ball starting to roll, I don't know whether those of you that follow the hub have seen about the tree blowdown on the town river.
I saw that.
Oh, yes.
So there's traction out there that people are seeing things, and I'm sure that Mr. Anderson will be on top of that before too
Is
long.
that
Not
us?
this Mr. Anderson, the other one.
Yeah.
Because there's a tree that blew down off of Forest Street, between the Forest Street Bridge.
I was just up there, well, I didn't go that far, but I was
And
just
there's
up there the
it
other
looks like a
day.
big old oak tree came down across it, and you really can't pass up north of there,
True,
or
yeah.
south of there actually. So, what was it, there was a river group that they had formed.
Yes, is it the Nemasket?
Nemasket River Alliance or something like that, and I have a feeling they will be tackling that when the water goes down a little bit lower, probably.
Yeah.
So, but as long as things like that get out and the groups know about them, hopefully we can get more volunteers to.
But Berta's an example of people who live out of town that come to West Bridgewater
Oh, there you
to
go.
recreate, and
Yeah.
and so again, it's appreciated.
So what trails do you typically do?
I go down the rail trail a lot,
Yep.
and then I go on that Bay Circuit Trail section a lot too.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, wherever I can find, honestly.
all right.
And she's also a full-time student?
Yeah, so I'm finishing my undergrad at Mass Maritime Academy for emergency management, and I've had an opportunity to do a lot of trail work in the past because I did a conservation corps in Vermont at one point too, so I got to do a lot of fun stuff out there. Yeah.
I know somebody who just graduated, Mass Maritime.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
What was it?
I might know them.
He's,
At what school?
John, I can't think, I don't know his last name, but, it's my wife's niece boyfriend.
Oh.
He's from Franklin, but he just graduated, he went for mechanical engineering.
Oh.
What
Yeah.
school is it again?
Probably not.
Mass Maritime.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know if they were on this last C term?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
I
then I
think so.
probably did meet them. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to, maybe I'll get his last, well, I don't know, you don't know the last name even if you knew.
Nah.
You probably might just have to see him in person.
They all go by last names there, so
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
I probably only know his last name.
Well, I'll have to get it up to try to get it done next time.
Awesome.
That's good.
So I guess we would encourage you to enjoy the trails as much as possible, and if we can find a way to have you do some more volunteer work, we'll try.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm a leave no trace instructor too, so even if you were trying to put on like a leave no trace class or anything like that, then that could be something I could do.
Yeah. Nice.
That, part of that volunteer idea, a group of volunteers with assigned trails to work on, would be some training. And that's kind of what Berta could do with that portion, is tell people how to use the trail and don't mess it up.
Well, it's one thing to pick up pieces of paper, but if you got a tree down, that's a different story. You gotta cut it,
Yeah.
move it or whatever.
Yeah, you don't wanna get into
Takes a
the
little
truck and
more
drag it out
horsepower,
up the
yeah,
trail.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, I'll keep in contact with him. Maybe we can coordinate some things.
That'd be awesome.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
So we'll send it out to you. I just need to have your address.
Sure.
Um,
Can't write it down for you.
Actually, I have a attendance thing tonight, and you're the only one attending, so if you could put down, you know, Jared's.
I don't know his address. Oh, yeah, I know his last name.
Okay.
Yeah.
That way I can make out the certificates properly.
Thanks.
So other than that, I have invoices to approve, which I can bring up for the, on the
Maybe
screen.
at some point, I'll talk to Chris and see if our highway department and the transfer station might be a little more receptive if something like this happens again.
Definitely,
Yeah.
Just,
yeah. It should be no. Should be
right,
a-
special
should be a-
circumstances
yeah.
that,
That's right, yeah. Those things are heavy,
yeah.
and if they're wet, or there's water on them.
So this is a invoice for the August Zoom meetings. It's $14.99. They won't, town doesn't reimburse for sales tax, but I don't mind eating it. I'll just leave work 5 minutes early
Is that
someday. And
Zoom?
yes, that's the Zoom subscription for August.
I thought we signed that. Was
That was for July, yep.
July.
And it was prorated because there were a couple of days in June from the previous fiscal year, so it was like 13 something.
Yeah, let's not go crazy here.
So that's the invoice for Zoom reimbursement, and I'll show you the other one.
You get charged if you use it, or what happens if you don't use it for, say, a month? You still get
You
charged?
still, yeah,
Okay.
until you cancel the subscription.
Yeah, they'll keep charging each month until you end your subscription. This is the second invoice, and it's for J.M. Golson Consulting Services for the Skim Milk Bridge project. This money comes out of the CPC funds that were appropriated for it. So they are probably going to have a couple more, but they should be nearing the end of their administrative portion, and they'll put out the bids for the structural report on the Skim Milk Bridge and what it will take to restore it. They're not designing it, but they'll give a report on it. And then the second phase is to get it listed on the National Historic Places Register. And so it's two contracts, and this money here is their administrative consulting fee for preparing the documents and coordinating this work. And it's $11,500.
No, 1,005.
Yeah.
1,000. What don't listen to me.
And this is the
Can
type
you
of
get
thing that
across that bridge now?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's just it's not the
Just
safe.
that it's in bad shape?
Yes, it's got a lot of holes in it.
Yeah, you gotta be careful where you step.
Yeah.
Well, with the high water, you know,
Well, that's out where you were, right? Skim Milk?
The old stone bridge that is off the trail.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
I didn't know it was called Skim Milk Bridge.
Yeah, it's one of the
Did you even know it was a bridge?
oldest.
With the
Doesn't look
rocks
like
right over there? I think
Yeah.
that's the
Very
coolest.
old.
I love
very
that
old.
bridge.
one of the oldest bridges of its type that's still standing.
Oh, wow.
And that's why they want to get it on the historic register.
And that's it.
That's it.
And I will entertain a motion to approve the 2 invoices.
I'll make that motion.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
So, we're not paying that, right?
No, this was funded through the CPC money that
We
the
have-
town meeting had
We
approved
need
previous.
to approve it.
Right. for
So
us.
we're kind of like the host organization
For
that's
that group.
for this project.
Okay.
So the CPC committee couldn't really be the host because they're funding the money.
Gotcha.
Whereas the commission, if we host this project or make it our responsibility, then we can pay the invoices for this.
I
for
mean,
this.
that DPW theoretically could
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, it could have been the, but they
They've already
thought,
got the town park on their plate, so
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
busy enough with that one.
No,
but they thought since it was on the
I follow you.
Bay Circuit Trail and conservation lands, near conservation land, that it would be appropriate for us.
Anything else?
I have nothing else, other than, one thing, I'm glad we thought about it for a little. The billboard sign project on Pleasant Street that is already there, but they want to move it closer to the highway. It's been hanging around for years now. They're finally getting to the point where they've got all their state approvals, their ZBA approval, but the approvals are starting to expire on August 6th, so nothing like waiting to the last minute to get their building permit. And when the building permit came across my desk, I said, there's still a lot of unfinished prior to construction, things that our order of conditions specifies. And I said, I'm not going to sign off on it until you comply with those things. They pointed out that they could comply with a few of them, and they're pretty good big items that they did comply with, but there's a lot of other ones that'll take a little bit longer. And so I talked with the town administrator, because some of it involved scholarship. If you remember, they were going to give a yearly fee to put towards a scholarship. And I wanted to make sure that the
That's old now.
Yeah.
That never went into effect then.
no, it didn't. It's
No.
now going to, but, so it affected, what he had to say about that part of it. And so, he suggested that we give them 90 days after signing an agreement that says they'll complete it in 90 days. And I drafted up an agreement. It's between the landowner, and it says they'll do the work in 90 days, and the commission will sign off on the building permit so they can get working 2 days from now and beat the August 6th
They
deadline.
know about this?
Yeah.
I said, yeah.
So, the owner has signed this and it's been notarized. What I'm recommending is that the commission vote to have Tim sign the agreement on behalf of the commission.
Sure. I'll entertain a motion to authorize my signature.
I'll make that motion.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
And they think they can complete this all within the 90 days?
They've already been told that if they don't, they'll have a cease and desist.
Okay.
But I think at that point, they would have started their work, and the expiration of the permits will continue, be continued until they're done, as long as they make continued process.
Anybody, anything else? If not, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second it.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Okay, thank you, everybody.